What's up, film buffs? This is Brian Szynski coming at you from Toxic Reviews, and today we are reviewing Spiral from the Book of Saw. Roll it. Spiral from the Book of Saw comes from franchise veteran director Darren Lynn Bousman. He directed parts 2, 3, and 4, so this is his fourth in the series. Working in the shadow of his father, an esteemed police veteran, Samuel Jackson, brash detective Ezekiel Zeke Banks, Chris Rock, and his rookie partner take charge of a grisly investigation into murders that are eerily reminiscent of the city's gruesome past. Unwittingly entrapped in a deepening mystery, Zeke finds himself at the center of the killer's morbid game. So right off the bat, Spiral was a very entertaining movie. I had a pretty good time with it. I am a pretty big fan of the Saw franchise. I take them for what they are. They're not Shakespeare, they're not Scorsese. They are films that are there to disgust you, to entertain you in a morbid way. Who's entertained by gore, and I am, as you can tell. I have problems. These are my friends. From the synopsis, you could tell that Spiral is kind of the same and yet kind of different. You are focusing on cops that are apparently being killed by an apparent jigsaw copycat killer, if that makes any sense. So they focus on why these cops are being killed. So Chris Rock is investigating because someone that he knows was killed, so he wants to lead on the case. So what he does is he takes control of the case, it's given to him, and he investigates. And throughout the story, throughout the movie, he gets these tiny little boxes. Well, sometimes they're a little bigger because other stuff gets put in there that's interesting. So he gets these boxes that have clues to each one of the next murders that are going to happen. The cinematography is great, smooth camera motions, the soundtrack is great, as always. Saw always does a great job with the soundtrack to disgust you, to make your ears bleed, your eyes bleed. You can't really tell it's a Saw film until you see the traps. It's pretty distinguishable from the other movies, in my opinion. I know that Darren Lynn Bousman wanted to make it look like the others, but to me, it felt very different. You know, if you took the traps out, it would just be like a detective movie. Performance-wise, Chris Rock does a great job, I'm not going to lie. He did a great job in this movie. Samuel Jackson is Samuel Jackson. I mean, the guy's awesome. But I wish Samuel Jackson was in it a little more, obviously. But the dynamic between him and Chris Rock is really, really cool. Although not enough of that is in the movie. I would have liked to seen a little more. Like, the movie is a clean, like, 130 something minutes, not including credits. So I would have liked maybe an extra 10 minutes, maybe an extra 15 minutes of fleshing them out a little more. But it is a Saw film, so I'm not going to nitpick. Please don't kill me in the comments. I will say, though, this is the first Saw film that I kind of guessed the ending, and I don't think that's because they weren't clever in any way. I just think it's because I am so in tune with surprise endings that my mind goes everywhere. So whenever I'm introduced to characters, I'm always thinking, you know, this guy could be the killer. Oh, this guy's dead now. Yeah, it definitely keeps you guessing into the end. I did like the ending. It's very different. It actually keeps it pretty open for the series to branch off into a new path. Yeah, the film was almost like a marathon, so it's almost like you're at a slow and steady pace, you're jogging, there's some crap happening around you, and then all of a sudden you see the finish line in the last 10 minutes of the movie or the marathon. You're going to just go, yeah, you're going to jog, and you're just going to sprint, and then it's over. That's one thing I didn't like. So the ending kind of happens, you're like, oh, cool, boom, 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 it's done. Credits are up, black screen. So I mean, I guess that's how the first one was, but they gave you a lot of time for the ending in the first one, the second one to like settle in, you know, with the with that music. And like when I saw the first movie, it was building. you're in that room. Adam picks up that tape. You think the guy's dead. He clicks it, and it's not him. It's someone else. If you haven't seen it, the movie is 15 years old, 16. Go see it. Rent it. I'll borrow it to you. I'll send it to you. Give me your address. That's creepy. Don't listen to me. Please don't report me. The cool thing about the Saw franchise is the mythos. John Kramer, he's a normal guy that has cancer, overcomes it, realizes that people are not grateful for the lives that they have, and in his sick, twisted, sadistic mind, he truly thinks that setting these traps at these people and sometimes putting them in these traps that they're not going to get out of. So it's almost like in his mind, he thinks this is a good thing. He really does, which is scary. It's really scary. So I know what you've all been waiting for. The traps. How are the traps, Brian? I don't know. Are they good? Are they bad? They're pretty disgusting. I was, with every Saw film, I was wearing this exact hat, and my hands were like on top of the bill, and I'm just like, oh my God. There's a trap where this guy's fingers are in there, and it's, for lack of a better word, it is disgusting. It's really disgusting. But it's glorious. And in an interview with Darren Lynn Bousman, he actually said he had to take the film 11 times to the MPAA to not have an NC-17 rating. So the traps are decent enough for you to want to look away, just like all the other films. They're creative, they're inventive. I wish there was more. I only think there's a couple, but they're pretty disgusting. Yeah, there's another one that's pretty horrifying, just thinking about it. Let's just say it has to do with possible paralysis in the back of your neck. You'll know when you see it. It's disgusting. The Saw franchise and horror in general is a done deal. People love horror. Even people that say they don't like horror are still interested in horror. I have people that don't like horror films that are like, oh, you're going to see the Spiral film? Let me know how it is. Like, why don't you come with me to see it? No, I don't like that. It scares me. I'm like, and you make these films for low budgets, and you make a crap load in the theater. So just like this film. I mean, this film has, you could tell this film has a higher budget. You could tell by the way that it's executed. So aesthetically, the film is nice. For a horror film, it looks good. It's not as grimy as the other ones, but it is more grimy than like Jigsaw. Jigsaw was a little clean. It was like super HD. It was super clear, super crisp. It's okay for some films, but Saw films, you wanted grainy and nasty and ugly, and when you get out of the theater, you just want to take a shower. That's exactly what I did. What? It's disgusting, it's gory, it's grimy. I love it. I love every moment of it, as you can tell. I love horror films. The killer is also pretty different. Different voice, not John Kramer's voice anymore. We don't have Billy anymore, which is sad. I like Billy. Teardrop. It's okay. It's okay. Sorry. There's a new doll. It's like a marionette puppet. I think it's a pig, something like that. Sorry. Give me a break. I'm not looking at the picture right now of the puppet. But it looked like a pig that was in a cop outfit. Pig in a cop. Oh. So, Spiral from the Book of Saw. What did I think? Well, I think I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Honestly, for a Saw film, it was super entertaining. They're trying to do something different. I think they succeeded. Not the best film in the series, obviously. Part 1 is the OG, and Part 2 is very close behind. Part 2 is awesome. If you haven't seen any of the Saw films, I suggest at least watch the first 2. I want you to watch the first 4. But watch the first 2. I think you'll be hooked. Well, that was my review of Spiral from the Book of Saw here on Toxic Reviews. My name is Brian Szynski. I hope you enjoyed your time here, Film Buffs. This is a new channel. This is our first video. I will try to bring you more content down the pipeline. Hopefully we could bring you some movie news. It's going to be a little challenging to do that, but I like challenges. So I'm going to bring you more reviews. If you have any ideas for the channel, shoot them out in the comments. We're always down for new and improved ideas. So this channel will develop. I'll have probably a better location instead of a blank background here, but I do have some of these guys to entertain us. Thank you. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. If you didn't like this video, please be gentle in the comments. And maybe watch it again. Maybe you'll like it the second time. Or not. Maybe I'm not that entertaining.